Bad Boys Club. Lord have mercy, Jesus. I tell you, it's craziness. It's pure craziness. Are y'all watching Bad Boys Texas on Zeus? Bad Boys Houston, Bad Boys, they're traveling all around, Texas, going to different cities. And so, yeah, I think this time they're in Houston. I think it's craziness, y'all. Let's just get into it. So leaving off from where we left off last week, Raz-B is either on something, or it's a mental thing going on that we're not aware of, right? So, all the guys are excited. They're in the studio. And here comes Raz-B. Raz-B had left, or he got escorted out, whichever one, y'all gnats. The summer's not my thing. Anyway, so they're around, and anyway, here comes Raz-B up the steps, child. And all of a sudden, everybody was already irritated with Raz-B, and all of a sudden, Jonathan hit him out of nowhere. And so apparently he knocked him out and knocked him flat, but his face was bleeding on the side. I was just like, Lord have mercy, Jesus. So and then that's when they realized that Raz-B allegedly had a knife. We never saw the knife, but allegedly he had a knife. Prince is yelling, screaming, he has a knife, he has a knife, he has a knife. So security do what they did to Raz-B. He arguing back and forth with Jonathan. Jonathan's talking his junk, Raz-B talking his junk. And Chef D says in his confessionals, he had to go check on Twin, because, he see Jonathan jump, so now he finna jump. So, it's just, Chef D, is something very cringy about him to me. He's very clout chaser vibes. Like, I don't know. I just can't trust him. I can't trust somebody who's a chef but have not scrambled not one egg in the house. Not one time have we saw Chef D on the stove. We ain't even seen Chef D put nothing in the microwave. I don't know if he's actually a chef or not. And then last I checked on his Instagram, I don't see nothing chef related either. So I don't know. Y'all might not know this, but I actually graduated from community college. And I have a degree, associate's degree in management with culinary arts electives. Yes, indeed. Got into it, met a couple of bad chefs with bad attitudes. It didn't work out. They kind of soured my experience, but I still love to cook. I still, like it. But I didn't have a bunch of cooking class like everybody else did. It was more so about managing a restaurant, possibly, or whatever, which is still one of my passions, but it's not my main passion once I actually got into it. But I'm not a quitter, so I just wanted to stick something out and make my mama proud. I was one of the first, if not the first, boy in my family to graduate college, any kind of college. So I wanted to just, accomplish that and do something. But I got into it and realized it wasn't really my thing. Maybe if I had a better experience, it might have would have been better for me. But I was young, and yeah, I graduated in 2013. So, I may go back to school for something. I'm just not sure for what yet. But it has to be something. I don't know, maybe journalism related. Something I'm really interested in. I would love to host red carpets and stuff at award shows and talk to celebrities and be a social media commentator, do, have a talk show, that kind of, I think that's more my gig, and maybe have cooking segments, child, or something like that, maybe one day, but, I got to pay my light bill and stuff, so it's not going to be anytime soon. Anyway, so back to this. Okay, so they ended up taking Jonathan. Well, no, Jonathan stayed. Raz-B ended up leaving. Of course, everybody's talking about what just happened. Everybody talking about what they gonna do. Adonis, I can't threaten. He come here to cut me and Once again, to me, this is all on Zeus. This is all on the producers. Y'all saw that Raz-B was crunk up on something, or he just had some kind of mental imbalance somehow that maybe they weren't aware of, or maybe they was, and they just wanted to exploit it. Who knows? But yeah, it was just a lot happening. It was too much. So we get to the studio. Raz-B, he's outside breaking glass and talking to the security, telling him that you let this happen to me. You didn't have my back twice, and blah blah blah. And then here comes Carry On Franklin out there to try to talk to Raz-B, spread the gospel. And Raz-B wasn't listening. He was just like, you let me get hit in your city and stuff. Raz-B was just off the chain. He should have been left. They should have stopped letting him come back and forth on the bus. It was given too much. But they had to film the drama. That's the main focus, not the well-being of the person. It's the mess and the drama, the viewership, So Raz-B ended up leaving. Carry On went back in the studio. They're still talking about it, but Prince, he wanted to continue to rap. Apparently, Prince had this Miami beat. I like the beat, actually. But I did not like the rappers on the beat, which was them. So Prince came in there, and Prince was the one that created this whole thing, that, ran, produced, found the beat, etc. He wasn't even prepared. None of them were prepared to rap on the record. It was a waste of time, honestly. Minutes and hours and however long went by. They was just smoking and drinking in the studio and just, I gotta feel the vibe. What vibe? How long have you had this beat? Why are y'all not prepared? None of them were prepared. None of them had a verse. It was just making up, playing in the studio like they did the first time. Wasting the engineer's time. And I was just like, oh, child, I can't. So now they're in a better studio, a more high quality studio. They actually have a professional producer there, yet they still playing. So I was just like, okay. So at one point, Jonathan got irritated, and so he decided to leave the studio. At this point, there was no Orlando, there was no Ara. I don't know where they went. But they weren't there in the studio. And Lou, he gone. He, went home, and because he was sick, and rarely he went home as well to check on his sister-in-law. So it was just the ones that was left in the studio. So Jonathan's flunky, which is Chef D, came out there to check on Jonathan, and he wanted to know why he left. And Jonathan was just like, oh, y'all, it's just embarrassing. He was just like, this whole thing was over. He was just over the whole thing. He just hit Raz-B. It was just a lot of emotions and a lot of stuff. He was also trying to hype them up and stuff, and he got tired of jumping up and down because he realized there was no talent. I don't want to say they're not talented. I just didn't see it that episode. I'll say that. I don't never want to say nobody's talented or disrespect somebody's artistry. But I will say that they all need help in some kind of way. So, Chef D was just like, but friend, I want to be on the song. And Jonathan was just like, well, what you got? And Chef D, he was just like, my name's Chef D. I'm on the beat and I like to eat, or something he said. And I said, you definitely don't like to cook. You probably like to eat, but you definitely don't like to cook because we ain't seen nothing. Jonathan wanted Chef D to go with him. Chef D decided to go back in there on the song. So when Chef D got back in there, he gonna tell them that Jonathan said that, y'all was embarrassed and y'all was a waste of time. Y'all was ill-prepared. All this stuff that's kind of disrespectful, right? None of them had nothing to say back to that because it's Jonathan, right? And it's Jonathan's show. So they all went in the studio and started doing their thing. Adonis, he did his little thing. I actually liked Adonis' little part. But Mo City, he was the main one talking about he's an artist and he take this seriously and this is his craft and this is what he do. He been doing this for years, blah, blah, blah. Mo City went in there and said, yep. Then apparently he said that he was a singer. And so he started to talk sing on the album, on the record, and then here comes Chef D and Adonis standing up, hyping Mo City up as if he said, I was just like, Mo City's one of those people, he's very handsome. And so he's one of those people to get by on his looks alone. Because I would have met, because women want to sleep with him, men want to sleep with him. He's an attractive dude. So, I get it. But the talent, as far as with the rapping and singing, I mean, he talking about he can sing. I thought he was Avery Wilson. I thought he was going to get in there and blow us away, but he just blew. He blew out that weed smoke. It was horrible. So after that, let me see. So we get back on the bus. So they got back on the bus, child, and there's these two random white girls that's on there. Nobody said anything. Nobody introduced them. And then when they pulled up to the club, they got off. Maybe they just found them on the street. They just needed a ride. So anyway, though, while we're on the bus, here comes Raz-B again. He has the face mask on, the whole thing, because he's swollen. And here comes Raz-B again. He was not received well, obviously. Once again, sorry, I had a phone call. Once again, why do y'all keep letting Raz-B back on the bus? Once again, he's back on the bus. And he kept coming. And it was just craziness. He got kicked off. And so we pull up to the club. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Oh, God. Every time I get started with these videos, I get a damn phone call every time. Sorry. So anyway, okay. So they kick Raz-B off the bus. We pull up to the club. Everybody get in the club. Raz-B's in the club. And, they all agreed to not fight Raz-B and just let him be in the section because this is a brotherhood, right? And we're all supposed to, look out for each other in public. So they let it go. Ara's turning up with Raz-B. Raz-B looking at the camera like this. Saying, Lord, this child is crunk up. So everything is fine for a little while until Jonathan pulls up. Jonathan comes. And then, everything kind of went downhill from there. Raz-B reached out to shake his hand. Jonathan didn't want to, which is fine. And so then all of a sudden everybody's turning up. Raz-B taking off his shirt, doing his thing because he high, high probably. And so all of a sudden Orlando was standing beside Jonathan. Jonathan tells Orlando to move to the side. Don't you know Jonathan hit Raz-B out of nowhere? Now, Jonathan, you hit him earlier, which I don't like all the violence in general, but not saying from Jonathan, I'm just in general in life, right? But I understood why you hit Raz-B earlier, Jonathan, because he was doing the most. He was a lot, right? But this time at the club, why did you hit him again? To me, that wasn't funny. And to me, that was unnecessary. I didn't like that. I did not like that. You had already hit him. He didn't hit you back. So what are you hitting him again for? It gets to a point where it's too much and it turns into bullying. That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. And so, of course, Raz-B's trying to get Jonathan, but security wouldn't let him. Even Natalie, I think, was there. She was trying to defuse the situation. But what's crazy, though, is out of nowhere, once again, for the third time, here comes Mo City. Mo City comes and hit Raz-B from the back. And he had the nerve to come on camera and say, I wasn't really trying to, I didn't really sneak him like that. He just had a punchable face at the moment. So I was just like, bro, I got to hit you or whatever. I'm just like, this is the third time that Mo City have snuck somebody without them knowing. The first time was when Anthony and his sisters came to the house, and he snuck them outside. Okay. What was the second time? Let me think. Okay, the second time was with Adonis when he came in. Adonis was arguing with, I think, with Chef D, had his back turned or turned to the side, and then here comes Mo City hitting him out of nowhere. And this is the third time of you hitting somebody from the side or from the back, Mo City, like a little child. I don't like him. I don't. I tried. But he's when I listen, let me say this. When I say I don't like people, I don't know nobody personally. I'm just saying from what I see on a show that's edited. That's all I'm saying. But I just don't respect that. I don't appreciate that. No. It's a no for me. It's a strong no. It was just unnecessary. So we get outside. They're trying to like calm Jonathan down. Of course, when Jonathan gets there, he's not trying to calm down. He's pushing Prince, and everybody's trying to. He cussing Adonis out. Everybody trying to, see what's going on. If he cool. Jonathan goes over. There's a car between them. Jonathan goes over to Raz-B. They're arguing back and forth, but it's security. Then nobody try to swing or nothing like that. So of course Raz-B is crunk because he's been crunk for the last 2 or 3 episodes, child. Once again, they should have took him out of there. They know that he was not in his right state of mind for whatever reason, and they should have been took him out of there. I don't know why all the scuffling with the security guards and all this foolishness. At one point, Raz-B got into it with the security guard. One of the security guards was getting ready to fight him and stuff. It just got crazy. Why do all that? Carry his little ass up, throw his ass in the car, and take him home or take him like somewhere like. Are y'all not allowed to do that? I just wouldn't be bothered with all that scuffling and duffling and breaking up stuff. It's not solving anything. Sedate his ass, shoot him up with something, make him go to sleep. Like I don't understand. I don't get it. It got to a point where it was sad to watch, to be honest with you. It actually kind of hurt my feelings watching Raz-B, seeing him in that state. A lot of it was his fault. But once again, we don't know if this is a mental imbalance, a chemical imbalance or something with Raz-B. Maybe this is just him. He's cool for a while and then he just spazzes out. We don't know if he's on meds. We don't know. Raz-B has been through a lot in the industry, and a lot of it we've seen unfold in front of us throughout the years, way before Bad Boys. He went through a lot with B2K, the whole Chris Stokes situation. It's just he's had a not so good life in the media, so to speak. So we just don't know. But I don't think this particular situation or the guys in the house had the patience or the knowledge to deal with what he was doing at the time or going through, and that's fine, but to me it was just up to Zeus to make sure their cast members is okay, not just to break up fights. But there's something wrong with him right now. Like, he needs to go, instead of just keep hitting him over and over. That's not doing nothing. That's not going to solve anything. So anyway, next episode, which I think is out now, it's Jonathan's birthday, and they have like a little celebration and stuff for him at the house. It was really cute. They had balloons and stuff up by his bed, and it looked cute. And Rayleigh's coming back next episode, and Raz-B is back, so we'll see how he's received, and it's just a lot. It's interesting. We all are one. We all are brotherhood. We brothers at the end of the day. When we out in public, we don't do that. We stick together. But Jonathan broke that rule tonight when he hit Raz-B. But, of course nobody's going to say anything to Jonathan for breaking the brotherhood. Orlando was pissed. He was just like, we don't do this in public. We don't act like this. But nobody ever directs anything to Jonathan because they all scared of him, in my opinion. or at least he has some kind of power in the show. It's something as to why Jonathan seems to be untouchable. We know that he can fight and probably beat everybody up, but it's more to that, in my opinion. But I guess I'll never know. With that said, I'm MrChalaki. MrChalaki on Google+. Follow me at @SkinsWar on Instagram and Twitter, at @SkinsWar89 on Snapchat, Chase King on Facebook, MrChalaki on Cash App and PayPal, Chasey Boy on TikTok, and as always, run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys later.